if I can add this to and make sure. Huh. Live. How do I see where this is? Oh, there we go. We are live. Excellent. I'm a little bit early, but that's okay. Ugh. This hair is a lot right now. It is 4:20 now. Okay, let me pop out the chat and come here and go to, no, that's the browser, YouTube chat properties. Sorry everyone, I have to do this every time and then we can see it. There we go. Hi Stuart, happy pre-Halloween. Hello. I took the white off my face because it was a lot. I couldn't find white face paint. Is my wig a little askew? How do I look at this while I'm looking at you? It's weird. It's not showing up on my YouTube app. But I'm gonna, can you hear me okay? Hello. Let me know if you can hear me okay. Hi Eddie. Hi Lee. Okay, let me see if I can watch it here. And then I can look at my wig. Okay, so it's a little bit messy. And then, so this was the messy side. And this side needs to be pulled over. I don't usually wear wigs, but I'm trying to get it right. And there's a little bit of a delay, so I don't know. Just give me a second. Yeah, I think that was right. Pull it over to the right. Sorry, I'm obsessing about this wig. I'm doing Morticia, okay? And then if you saw my Instagram post, which I can probably pull up for you here. Oh wait, where's this mic? You guys probably don't hear me. Let's turn all of those off. Maybe that's better. Tell me if that's better. Okay? This is I've got my little desk mic. So I still have some makeup on from earlier. Yes, Stuart, I'm doing Morticia and my lips are, you can clearly tell I don't wear makeup a lot. Right? Because I'm not very good at it. I'm trying. Okay, that's better. Everyone says that's better. Sorry about that. I had too many mics on. Okay, so what are we doing today? We are... Hi, Occult45. Thank you for being here, everybody. I wanted to post this. Brian A. Hi, Vanessa. I miss your Bon Appetit short hair. Okay, I know. I've heard that before. That's cool. I don't know what you want me to do about it. I'm not going to go run and cut my hair. I like having long hair. It's fun. It's fun. Okay, let me send a photo to the stories so people know. Look, I'm taking a selfie. It's very meta. Maybe we should do it like this. And I'll take a photo of myself taking a photo. Okay, so that'll be in my stories later. Okay? We love it. Anyway, slowly getting more and more tech savvy. Join the live. See, I've got to post it everywhere. Okay. And then I have this overhead if we want to roll a joint. Hi, Ryan. Was that mean? I don't mean to be mean. People tell me all the time. They're like, I miss your short hair. I miss your short hair. I look back on it and I see like a helmet. You know, I feel like it looks like a helmet. And I like having short hair because it's like easy to wear. But, you know, I don't know. I just wanted something different, so I grew my hair out. Let me live a little bit, okay? Got my whole life to have short hair. And I've had short hair most of my life. So I'm just feeling girly. Okay, so I wanted to pull up some stuff. Is it not working? No, it's still working. Okay, sorry. My YouTube live was being funny. Let me see. I wanted to look up some things for us to discuss today. We have some exciting things to talk about. Let me get a new browser window. Stuart found Pink Jesus. Where'd you find Pink Jesus, Stuart? Are you excited about it? Okay, obviously you are. Let me hook up this browser. Window capture. Google Chrome. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out. There we go. Okay. And let me put that on top of the Sony. Wow. There we go. Oh, I had Club Sesh browser. I had another stream. See? There we go. I have another, but where's the YouTube chat? There we go. I set up a new scene because Winslow taught me how to set up a new scene in OBS, which is cool. So then we don't have to like bounce around so much. You don't have to watch me move things around. Santa Monica. Oh my God, look it. I got lipstick on my club mug. Club mug. Club mug. Is everyone here a member of the Edibles Club? We have a new recipe video coming out soon. Winslow and I just recorded it today. And it's for Lee, because Lee requested multiple times that I make the mooncake recipe from Incredible Edibles. And I think it's still up on the club, but I've taken it down from YouTube because Vice is going to put Incredible Edibles up on their site. So that's very exciting. It's going to be awesome. We put a lot of work into that series, so... I'm eating a clementine. Local Cannabis Co. I told them about your show and they're all into it. Tell them about my chocolates. Tell them to carry Marigold Sweets. I can reach out to them. Okay. Ooh, sour. Okay. I keep saying that. Let's see. Hi, Michelle. Welcome to the live, Michelle. Oh, should we roll a joint? We should always roll a joint. Let me get my NDI for everybody. Do you like? I got all dressed up for you. Wait till you see what we recorded today. Let me make sure this lens is clean. I put makeup on. The dog has been walked, so she's in the corner. If you look, kind of right there, that's Bon. She's sleeping. I got her a little outfit. So these eyebrows are glue, right? Like my real eyebrow is all down here. But now I'm starting to think I should maybe do higher, thinner brows. I'm rolling right now Cadillac Rainbows. I love it. Okay, so let me look up this NDI camera. And I think we can do it this way. And let's hope, fingers fucking crossed. Oh shit. Look there's the Sasquatch and all my snacks. Alright, let's hold off on the browser. Sorry. Everybody, let's roll a motherfucking joint. Browser, go away. Me, go above the iPhone. Alright, this is my desk sitch. Let's move it so you don't see. Sorry everybody, don't get sick while I straighten this out. I don't want you to see like my feet. I just want you to see. Winslow got me a new thing, so bear with me. Just want you to see the clementines. Oh my god, you poor people. Anyway, you're still here with me. Thank you. Wait, why is this? No. Oh, fuck. Ah, fuck. I don't know if I like this one. There we go. I tried. I'm trying. One more try. One more try. Oh, shit. Okay. Whatever. That's good enough, okay? Ignore this. I don't think I can move it any closer. No. Ah! Don't drop it. Okay, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop. I'm done. Okay, my bad. My bad. I'm gonna eat a clementine. Okay. Oh, it's so nice and tart. I feel like Cher with this hair. Do you believe? I probably can't sing that on this here app or website. It's early yet, but it's time to roll up. I'm glad Bonbon is sleeping. Winnie is not here. What's your weed nerd question? Hookstergram. Hi, good day. And Smokators, hello. Tell me your weed nerd question. I'll do my best to answer it. Oh yeah, if I could turn back time is a good one. No matter how hard I try. Oh wait, no, that's not it. That's still Do You Believe in Life After Love. And then there was 'Cause I'm Strong Enough. Yeah, Cher had a lot of hits. She still does have a lot of hits. Keep going, Cher. Is Winnie, yeah, wait, is it still hooked up? Let's make sure that I'm getting all of our chat. What is it that makes dabs taste like soy sauce while having coffee? Oh my god, I love that question. Honestly, I'll have to ask him if he knows. I can message him and say, "Hey, do you know why?" Let me see if he's home and I can text him and say, "Hey." I'll say, "Hey, Michelle has a question for you." Oh shit, I can't text him from here because he doesn't have an iPhone, of course. Okay, well, whatever. I'll ask him later. I always have to cleanse my palate with water before hitting dabs because it's so gross. And probably something in the coffee is just like, you know, the flavor combination of it with what are you saying you have? Coffee, it tastes like soy sauce. So like salty. salty. That's interesting. I don't know, Michelle. That is hilarious, though. And yeah, good solution. Just like have a fresh palate. Wash your mouth out before you take a dab, because that's a weird flavor to taste. This is, what am I smoking right now? This is some Stony Coast Farms Garden Society Passion Orange Guava. I was going to cook with it, but I've been smoking it. No matter the strain, sweet gas, whatever. Soy sauce. That's funny. Green Queen 420. Cheers. Cheers. Okay. So we're going to talk about Halloween. We're going to talk about cannabis candy storage, how to store cannabis candies safely, because we don't want to get blamed, you know. We want the industry to have a good reputation. We don't want to get parents pissed off at us. A lot of us are parents too, you know, and it's just about being a responsible cannabis user, just like you can be a responsible, you know, gun owner, or you can be a responsible alcohol drinker, and you can be the kind of alcohol drinker that like leaves it out for kids to get a hold of. Like like my grandma just had a cabinet full of liquor, and we would, you know, when we were old enough to figure out what it did, we would mix disgusting concoctions. Gross. And then throw up. Anyway, so we're going to talk about all these things slowly, because I haven't even smoked a joint yet, okay? And what's everyone being for Halloween? Talk to me, babes. Talk to me. Talk to me. Are you dressing up? Are you not dressing up? Fuck that. Who wants to dress up? Me, obviously. I'll dress up for all of you. It is very important to me for my kids to be educated and aware. Oh, wait, I'm blocking our chat. Are aware. Our 10 and 4-year-old go to the dispos with me. They know that also it's my medicine, and they don't touch anyone's medication ever. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm always spooky mommy. I'll post a photo of me and hubby in Patreon. Awesome. Post that to the group chat. Post that. Okay, so Winslow is actually going to be here Saturday, so we are going to do a kitchen sesh on Saturday too, which is bittersweet. So, because we want Winslow to get gigs, but we also happy to work with Winslow. Oh, there it is. I need to grind up some more flour. I'm a slow joint roller, very methodical. Okay, let's see. Going to be high for Halloween. I love it, Charlie. That's hilarious. Michelle, your 10-year-old is Dorothy. That's so cute. And your 4-year-old is Princess Aurora. I loved Sleeping Beauty. You know what scene I loved in Sleeping Beauty, obviously, is the scene where the fairy is making the cake, and she's like, fold in 2 eggs, and she takes the batter and she puts 2 eggs and goes, and she goes, whoop, whoop, and she folds in the 2 eggs. Really cracked me up as a kid. I'd be like, what is she doing? You don't fold in eggs like that. So I'm a slow roller. And then I kind of just top it on off here. Do. Do. Gosh, I used to smoke spliffs for so long, and it's so gross now when I think about it. should stop smoking joints too, but I love to be a dragon. Okay. Let's read what you're saying. Kicking it with my best friend on Halloween. Maybe dress up and go out to a bar and then monster movie marathon. I love it. Monster. What's everyone's favorite monster movie? Let's get rid of that. I'm going to plug my phone in. Everything is never charged. 1 second. Okay. Kicking it with my best friend on Halloween. Wait, Charlie, are you rolling up the whole eighth? No, this is probably not even a gram. Not even a gram. Okay, I'm scared to light this. Smoke a boy. Hi. Welcome to the live stream, Smoke a Boy. Sorry if there's a little bit of a lag, but I will say hi as your comments come in. This hair is getting frizzy. I'm afraid to light this by my hair, so we're gonna light it. We're gonna light it over here because I just refilled this clipper, so I don't want to set my face on fire. I feel like this hair is flammable. Feels very plastic. Tony Mark Guitar. Nosferatu. Robert Eggers is releasing a new version this December, but I rewatched the silent film from 1922 at an indie theater recently. It was sold out, packed theater. You're going as Nosferatu? That's very scary, Tony. I didn't light it long enough. Are you in the club? Are you in the club Patreon? Like the Patreon, the Edibles Club? Patreon.com. Edibles Club. If you are, please post your outfit to the Patreon group chat. It's under the community. I can even show you guys here. See, but if I log in, I'll show you guys how much we're doing. How to cook with weed, right? That's how much we make right now. This is the club. That's pretty good. I feel like that's very solid. I can pay for Winslow. And community. And Adam, to be honest, a little bit of Adam. And we donate. So if you go here, you can see we have Tony. You were a devil last year. I love it. I was a nun. I was a spooky nun last year. So you can go to our group chat in the club. Let's make this bigger. Can we do that? Without covering? Yeah, that's good. And you can come here. Oh my God, Michelle, sexy. Wow. I love it. Creepshow movies to me are good Halloween anthologies. Yes. I do love a good scary movie. Okay, let's jump into our topics. If you haven't joined the club yet though, Patreon, the Edibles Club, please do join. That is how the stream is supported. Let's come here.
Cannabis legalization used to be a straightforward debate, public health, economic opportunity.
Can you guys hear that? Are you hearing it twice? Why isn't it going just through the... Let me see if I shut this off, tell me if you still hear this.
And individual freedom. But now it's turned into something else entirely.
Because I don't want it to go...
are using cannabis as a pawn in broader political battles.
Creepshow movies. I'm too scared to watch the Creepshow movies. Okay, but the only problem is then I don't fucking hear them. Okay. Why isn't this working for me like it did? It never works with these ear things. All right, fuck it. You're just gonna. I hope you're not getting reverb. I'll mute my mic while he's talking. I think that'll work.
It to hot button issues like immigration and gender rights. These viral narratives aren't just random. They're part of a calculated strategy to exploit fear and outrage for clicks, shares, and ultimately control. Take Arkansas, for example. A conservative group called the Family Council Action Committee has been warning that expanding medical cannabis access will somehow turn the state into a drug use destination.
Okay, but like, what's wrong with a tourist destination? Does this sound okay? I'm trying to make it so that you don't hear it through my desk mic, but you still hear it through the browser, but I can still hear it, so I'm just muting my desk mic. It's more technology shit than you need to know. Why do people always think it's going to be some like horrible thing when you legalize cannabis? Anyway.
For undocumented immigrants. Their executive director, Jerry Cox, claims that the reform could allow illegal immigrants,
emphasis on the Cox,
to get medical cannabis cards despite the clear safeguards that require valid state identification. Meanwhile, groups like Arkansas's for Patient Access are calling this out for what it is, fear-mongering. They point out that 24 other states have recreational cannabis without any such problems. They say
common sense, if they took the time to look at any of the statistics from other states, it would, they wouldn't be saying these things. But it's we're such an easy low-hanging fruit target, because like weed's been the target for so long. It's such an easy target that they're just like, oh, the children, oh, it's gonna destroy our communities. It's like, no, it can be however you want to regulate it. California is an agricultural state. We want to regulate it. It's also a tourist state. So we want to regulate it so people come to our state because they know that the cannabis here is top quality. We're growing weed in wine country. So, that it makes sense for the industry to develop that way. And there's plenty of complaints about California's cannabis industry, but this idea that legalizing just all of a sudden is going to turn it into some sort of tourist hotspot for pot, like, give me a break. Tony, thank you. I love the Love Witch, and I'm glad it's not doubled. I'm trying to be tech savvy today. Okay.
The measure's focus is on providing better access to rural and low-income residents, not on creating immigration crisis. Now, there's also Texas, right here in Texas, where some conservatives are trying cannabis legalization to their push for restricting gender-affirming care for minors. In an amicus brief filed with the Supreme Court, 10 Republican governors argued that states should have the same authority to restrict transgender health care as they do to create their own cannabis policies. This is all part of the United States versus Scrimity case where transgender youths are challenging Tennessee's law banning gender-affirming care. Essentially, these governors are saying, if we can't make up our own cannabis rules, if we can make our own cannabis rules, we should be able to do the same with healthcare. It's no coincidence that these issues are being tangled together by wrapping cannabis into the cultural battlegrounds like immigration and gender rights. Conservatives are steering the conversation away from cannabis's actual benefits.
Stuart, so what he's saying, are you questioning what he's saying in the video? Like, why are they attaching it to trans rights and immigration? Because they are trying to, people don't like either of those issues. Conservatives don't. Obviously, I don't have a problem with immigration, and I don't have a problem, of course I don't have a problem with trans people. I believe in trans rights, and I'm a big supporter of the trans community. But a lot of people don't approve, and so if they can kind of bundle them together, then they're hoping they can squash both. It's yucky what they're doing. So they're using transphobia and xenophobia to get people to hate cannabis, which is historically what has been done with cannabis, and it's been used to put people in jail who shouldn't be in jail. And so, yeah, anyway, conservatives would rather get drunk. Yeah, I've got a way more issue with alcohol. I have no issue with cannabis, obviously, but, alcohol is depending on what you're using it for. Obviously, Everclear, I don't drink Everclear. I use it to make extracts and tinctures and cook. But alcohol has its purposes, but anyway, let's keep going.
Tactic is as old as it is effective. Shift the focus to something divisive and whip up a little fear along the way. And with the way social media works, fear-based content spreads like wildfire, keeping these narratives front and center. These stories aren't just distractions, they help maintain policies and disproportionately affect marginalized communities. Cannabis criminalization has long been used to incarcerate Black and Latino communities, and even though some states have moved to legalize it, thousands remain locked up for nonviolent cannabis offenses. Once someone gets tangled up in the criminal justice system, they're stuck, barred from housing, employment, and educational opportunities. Legalization may offer a way out for some, but as long as these narratives dominate the conversation, real progress will remain slow and uneven. It's hard not to notice how these tactics mirror other political maneuvers. Look at the way the NRA rebranded the AR-15 as a modern sporting rifle. They softened its image to make it more palatable, despite the rifle being at the center of so many mass shootings. Conservatives are now doing the same with cannabis, rebranding it as part of a larger cultural war to distract from the core issue, the need for criminal justice reform and economic equity. In the end, cannabis is more than just a plant or a policy question. It's become a symbol of...
This guy's head is so small right now. Let me see if I can... I don't want to make it full screen. No, I think that's all I can do. I thought I could make it like theater mode or something. The devil's lettuce, I know. People love to fear monger about a lot of different things. I think there's a lot of fear mongering that happens, and I always try to take that anytime someone is, trying to freak me out about something that is not based in fact. I say this in my cookbook, but my grandpa always told me, my Sicilian grandpa, he always told me, believe half of what you, no, believe none of what you hear, zero, none of what you hear, and half of what you see. Does that make sense? So like none of what you hear, half of what you see. So, it's kind of like talk is cheap, but LOL, just making me laugh. He's making you laugh. Okay, I think we're good with this guy. This guy was pretty interesting, and I agree. Like this, the Halloween thing, shouldn't be such an issue. Okay, let me do this.
All right, so for the holiday season coming up, we have a lot of candy-related events going on, and we wanted to remind you about safe and responsible storage with your Texarkana Organics goodies. We've all seen our different containers. They come in different shapes and sizes. All of them have the same safety feature, which is a child-resistant top.
That is
It's very simple
Sorry,
to
guys.
open. You actually just take it and squeeze these 2 points right here on either side and pull back on the top. What this does is this prevents any person, like a child or an unsuspecting adult, from having easy and direct access to your infused candies. We want to make sure that we keep this away from any other regular...
You know what? Yeah, keep it away from normal candy. Like, don't store your edibles with other non-infused food that is similar, similar category. They have these medical like lock boxes that you can store edibles in. I really have heard a lot of stories over the years just about people people, you know, accidentally getting into edibles that have been left in the freezer or unlabeled or in a container that isn't child resistant. And there's a reason behind those regulations as far as having child resistant packaging. And it's like these people who want to, going back to fear mongering, it's like these people who want to fear monger about legalizing in the industry. And how do you think we create safe communities around cannabis? You don't put your head in the sand about it. People are using this plant. They've been using this plant for generations, and we need to have more education about how to be responsible cannabis consumers. So, you know, whatever that means to people and to different states. We were talking about Florida legislation, or the Florida measure to pass in this coming election, and the major issue, the major sticking point that I've seen is that it doesn't allow home grows. So we'll see if it passes. Also, it's like backed by True Leave. Michelle, we were talking about that. Hi, Delicious D. Megatron, the holy anointing oil in the Bible is THC hash oil. I'm not touching that. Sorry. Don't talk to me about Bible stuff. Stuart, my grandpa, ciao Kathy. My grandpa always told me not to make a face when my grandma kissed me. She would slurp. Ew. Oh, God. I didn't need to know that. She would slurp. Okay. This guy's kind of boring, so let's find someone else to watch. Let's see. This.
Today really was a public outreach event, an education event for our community, so they understand the danger of some of these edibles that are being sold everywhere in our region and marketed to kids. We really wanted to get this out in front of our community and our parents before Halloween, because
I have to be honest, like, this packaging kind of bums me out. You know, I know these are like Delta 8, so it's not a regulated industry. I think these are all kind of Delta 8, which means when it's not regulated, these can be sold pretty much everywhere, I think. There's no regulation for it as of yet. I remember when Delta 8 first came out, first everyone was like, get into CBD, right? Everyone was like, Vanessa, do CBD chocolates. And I was like, that doesn't make any sense. Why would I put CBD, something that is anti-inflammatory, why would I put that into sugar? Didn't make any logical sense. Like some sort of healthy application or product with it, sure, but it just seemed like a gimmick as a way to like be able to sell across state lines and not have to deal with regulation that we deal with to be in the legal cannabis market. Then it was Delta 8, and people wanted me to get into Delta 8. And I was like, I don't know what that feels like. I don't know if it feels like, you know, the edibles I've been making for 15 years. Like, I don't think it does. Pretty damn sure it doesn't. So I know it's good access for people who are in states that don't have any kind of medical or recreational cannabis. But I can see how it's definitely a concern for parents. So the packaging is a big red flag, but you can't regulate packaging unless you have regulation, unless it's legalized, unless that's part of something that the government is involved in, instead of just, I don't know what it is. Right now it's in this like weird kind of gray area, and I've operated in that area before, and I just was like, I'm just not interested. I'm sorry. Now it's hemp THC, right? Now everyone wants me to get into hemp THC, and I won't do it. I mean, I won't say never, because you never know, but I'm just not interested. It feels like the same old thing. Uh-oh. Oh, no, she's just switching. She likes to switch spots. She's there now. Wait. Ooh, ooh, ooh. There. I'm stoned. Anyway, so yeah, big red flag. Also, so now we're cooking on Saturday. We have to think of what we're cooking on Saturday.
Children might bring some of these products home in their goodie bag. Some of them look very much like a children's candy. There's suckers and lollipops, there's candy bars, but they contain very dangerous levels of THC and psilocybin, which are hallucinogenic and very dangerous to children.
That's the other thing. I've seen a lot of mushroom stuff, and I'm like, this is, people also wanted me to get into mushrooms, and I was like, no, thank you. I don't, no.
Children.
The mislabeling or
It's
the
too
non-labeling of products
Too
that
hard.
do contain.
The thing about weed in food, like out of our mushrooms in food, it's like, okay, you're still like kind of like scarfing it down. And then I don't eat mushrooms and then go, ooh, I want to eat more food, right? Edibles, I'll eat an edible. Like did the video earlier, so I had some of the moon cakes that I made, the salted egg moon cakes. I'm a little stoned. I'm a little edible stoned. Feels different than smoking. And now I'm hungry, I want to eat more. And that to me is a very enjoyable experience and part of the culinary thing. Also, I just don't know how often people are taking mushrooms, although people tell me all the time they love them more than cannabis edibles, but for me it's like a real commitment. Let me read what you're saying. David Cranford Jr. I'm awesome. I'm just saying, I'm pretty freaking cool though. That's cool. I'm glad you have that kind of self-confidence. That's good. I mean, I'm high. My bad. I think you meant that you're awesome, and that's good. That's a good thing. You should feel good about yourself.
THC. For example, this sucker here, there's no label at all on this sucker. You could get this sucker anywhere, right? But this sucker has cannabis in it. This sucker has intoxicating THC in it. How would a child or an adolescent or anyone know that when they pick this up to eat it, they could become very sick?
Right. There's no labeling.
Part of this is really educating the retailers. We were happy today to have the Neighborhood Market Association partner with us on this. We've been notifying other retailers. These products have been found all over the region in large retail establishments, BevMo, 7-Eleven, and other places. So we're really concerned that people think they're legitimate and that what's on the label and what's listed as ingredients are really what's inside the package, and they're really not.
Megatron, that sucker. It got very loud at the end. That sucker, that was funny. Oh, let's watch this. Do you think that is okay? Are we gonna get it should be fine, right? That music makes me nervous. Let's get past this shit. I don't want to watch it anyway.
Why is Schedule 3 taking so long? It's trending, and so let's do that and bring on our co-host.
Dude, I'm all about the leadership right now. We already know that this scheduled hearing's not until December 2nd, right?
Oh, we're going to have a big show on December 2nd. That scheduled hearing is going to pop off. We're going to have our episode before that episode.
They have a lot of subscribers.
Kamala Harris sat down with Charlemagne the God, and he asked her about legalizing it, and she had some quotes about like why it's taking so long, and then she said, because we had to work with the DEA. That's right, hempsters. You used to have to work with the DEA. Now they're just looking at you going, oh, we're tracking. But there's a certain level of bureaucracy that exists in the federal government that slows things down.
Right.
Kamala Harris said, but essentially to bring it down to how marijuana is classified, to make it classified as a lesser harm, that has taken some time. There's a whole process around that, but that is the work we've done in addition to work that we've done writ large on criminal justice reform.
We might have
There you
to
go.
move this
She
up
is
a little
working
bit.
to reschedule.
Keyword to the article on the marijuana moment, shout out to you guys, is bureaucracy here, right? Like when we talk about reschedule and process, this is how leadership works. Like how have
Hi,
things
Eddie.
happen for you.
You missed a
Americans,
lot.
right? Like the rules, the process. This is living history. We're talking about Trump.
That looks
He
a
is
little
the
better
leader
anyway.
of
Well,
the
like,
party.
Yeah,
It's
but then like Trump legalized hemp, which nobody thought would get you high. Nobody
Yeah.
did. Nobody, as we go, because we were there, we were doing the podcast 5 years ago. And so one of my first little videos that I did after that was I went to the dispensary and bought some weed and said,
This
oh,
is
look,
great.
because
Exactly.
the THCA levels on it, it technically qualifies as hemp. It was a satire because the whole point is the 0.3%. The legislator believed that it wouldn't get you high. And that's what was legalized. And so like when they say that Trump legalized weed because of the Farm Bill, no, he legalized hemp. And then the entrepreneurs inside the hemp industry that couldn't sell their CBD created all these intoxicating hemp derivatives.
Right.
And I'm going to be honest, right? Like Tom's
And
always
what's the
been
high?
very adamant, like since the beginning of about this definitive line about hemp and cannabis. For me, I give no S. Like I don't care. But now that I'm starting to step up into the industry, the business, and now I'm starting to see, dude, the way Illinois legalized it versus Washington State, right? Washington State, like you always are, we don't have to have these security requirements and all the other things, but we also have a lot of break-ins and whatnot. You don't hear too many new things about that in Illinois, huh? Because of the security requirements, right? This is something that fundamentally, when it comes to a business, you got to think about. Rescheduling, it brings it.
There's that. It brings it out of the shadows, but then the regulations are all at the state level. And so we have to do all these things at the state level. All of our product has to come through the state level. We're not allowed to outsource product. And then I stopped into picking up a pizza for Friday night dinner, and I stopped into a smoke shop, and there they are. They're selling eighths for $30 for THCA. Pre-packed right there, and they're advertising that they sell THC, and then you can buy vapes, and you can buy gummies, and you can buy THCA.
Wow.
And that's but that regulation comes down to like the transparency for the consumer. I'm fortunate enough to cannabis in itself, like we have good cannabis where the farmer doesn't have to worry about
transparency to the consumer. Yeah, but consumers are assuming that if a product, especially an agricultural product, is for sale in, at wherever you can buy Delta 8 and CBD and all of that, that there's oversight, that it's being tested, that it's, there aren't certain pesticides being used.
About, is this going to be 0.3% THC or not? And then if it is not, then how do I get it to, how I manipulate it chemically? Or if it is, now it's hot. Now what do you got? You got nothing, because you're still not allowed to use it.
The club movies, do we know these guys' states, like where they're from? I don't know. Maybe Illinois. We can look it up. Should we subscribe? Let's subscribe.
Hemp, right? You're still not allowed to use it as concrete
Give him a thumbs
or
up.
CBD, because now you have hot flower. So the whole
Sorry,
thing about
I
the
fixed
hemp
the
industry,
wig so it
they're
wasn't
playing a
bugging
game.
me quite
They're
as
playing
much
this little,
as
like,
it. I just
COA
moved it
game,
back
right?
a little bit. It was giving me a
I think the
headache.
trappers, who I think this enabled, again, spray turf.
That was a good
Right?
orange.
'Cause everybody,
It absolutely enabled all of that.
Clementine.
And then now, like with they're all trying to sell beer, or they're all trying to sell like weed beer. And so you go to any liquor store or any store, and then there's all these beverages that they have out there. And again, they're like, oh, it's legal. I'm like, yeah, if you only read half the law. If you don't read like the Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act, it's illegal. But if you actually read that, they say you're not supposed to do this. They've sent out press releases. No one cares, which is nice. But then it means like, why do we have to go follow all these rules and regulations and laws to sell like plain old natural safe weed when you could sell Frankenweed or like?
Okay, so like, I'm not of the school of, I think they should be regulated as well. they should be regulated just like the cannabis industry. Weed beer, yeah. So we're talking about hemp THC. So, you know, like, they're saying, how come we have to jump through all these hoops to be in the legal cannabis industry, but then these hemp people can kind of do whatever the fuck they want and no one's stopping them, and kids clearly have access to the products that are out there because no one's regulating them. They're all regulating us, right? And we're just shit. When child resistant packaging came out, I knew it was coming, and I had so much anxiety about it because I was like, how am I going to pay for that? I thought at first that I was going to have to like get custom child resistant boxes made for me, and that was going to cost me like 20 grand, which I did not have. And luckily I found stock plastic child resistant boxes that fit 4 chocolates. So I had to redesign my box around those, and it's annoying. It's a pain in the ass. I wish I didn't have to have that much packaging. It's always plastic because like kids can't, you need them. I don't know what the rules are on what makes something child resistant and what not. So anyway, let's keep going.
Beverage weed or any of the other ones without any of these. That was one of the other articles that was going around.
Most commercially grown weed has pesticide and fungicide since it's grown purely for profit. Well, yeah, I mean, I know the weed that I'm smoking is lab tested. That came from the dispensary. Usually you can look up the lab testing, and it's a small sample from a big batch, but I know that I have some certainty of what's in this flower. But if I'm getting it, even if I'm growing it myself, I don't know unless I take it to the lab and I get it tested, which I'm not going to do. Most people aren't going to do. Most home growers aren't going to do. Then you don't know at all what's in it. So I trust people who grow a lot and do so in the legal market more than others. And I know people don't agree with me on that, but I don't give a fuck. So there you go. Yeah, there are definitely growers in the legal industry who are safer, who are better operators. We'll say that. Better operators than others. So you have to know who those people are and know about the farms and just do more research about who you're supporting in the industry. And you can, you'll taste it and you can tell. But at the end of the day, I just, unless you take every piece of every flower, every nug to the lab, there's no way to know. You could be storing it incorrectly and it could get moldy. Anyway. Megatron, I do not trust what I grow for myself. I do not. I would cook with it maybe, but I don't trust there not to be mold on it. That's not my forte. I'm not a grower. Maybe in the future it's a skill that I could develop when I have land of my own, but living in a, city, I just don't mess with it. I dabble, I like to have a plant. I like to have the leaves, but I just think it's like, unless you're really skilled at it, and I'm assuming you are because you only trust yourself, then I just think it's a risk. I always get bugs. Mine was covered in caterpillars. And so I'm assuming, that's why people spray, because they don't want their crop to get destroyed. Always happens like right before you're gonna harvest too. So anyway, hi Russ. Hi Russ, let's keep watching these guys. They're pretty
The
interesting.
hempsters have their own industry group, and they have come up with a safe self-regulation, which whenever an industry says they're going to self-regulate, somebody's about to die. And
Yeah.
they'll know that they're poisoning somebody, but they'll just keep doing it and say that
Right.
it's not
You can't
actually happening.
self-regulate. These
Because
guys are
that's what
funny.
corporations are. They're all sociopaths. And
Right.
they're going to try to safely regulate themselves, and they wanted to limit themselves to just Delta 8 and Delta 9. And I'm like, oh, great. Why don't you just not get people high? We have to sell our products, but you aren't marijuana. Don't you realize that you have a huge misbranding case that could just totally take down your whole industry? Because like you are branding something as hemp when it's clearly marijuana. And he had nobody from his last term doesn't want to come back. And so most of the people that worked with him last time are like, yowza, holy crap, let's keep this guy away from the nuclear codes. And then 50% of Americans, let's give him back the nuclear codes. So let's say that he wins. Nobody wants to work with him,
50%
except for the
of America.
2025 people, which are pretty nuts. And so those guys will come in and ban it all, or they'll allow Schedule 3, and then they'll ban everything else, and then they'll enforce the law. We'll see what happens.
So again,
Hi Ochanomu. Yeah, I would rather not smoke mold. And I really don't trust myself. But or eat mold. Although we eat cheese. But no, it's different. You know? No thank you. No thanks. Unless I ran lab testing on it. Then I would. If it came back all clean. But I don't know how much that would cost. Because that's expensive. If you're not just... It's like expensive even if you're just testing for potency. Hi, Lauren. Happy belated birthday. No, it's today. Happy birthday. Stoner. I'm such a stoner. Anyway, you told me that earlier.
leadership, the bureaucracy of it all. Like I used to think when I was younger.
Okay, wait. I missed this comment. Megatron. I grow indoors in a grow tent and never had a bug in my tent in my 4 years of home growing. Knock on wood. That's great.
I had hair.
I guess I needed a grow tent. I didn't know. Maybe I'll get better at it. My friend Casey grows up north. You should go see her.
I never cared about politics. I want to legalize, like, to help get the Prop 215 signed. And that was the only thing I could think of, right? Because it takes money, it takes
Prop 215, he must be in California.
energy, it takes time, it takes people with knowledge on how to submit the paperwork to get to a legal framework, right? Medical people, somebody in the comments a while ago commented on one of my posts about how, first, I always thought it was a joke when the Farm Bill passed, the hemp Farm Bill passed, and these people come out with this whole
You need to eat a granola
full
bar.
spectrum hemp. They're like, bitch, that's weed. That's all that is. That's just weed you let grow to be how it wants to be. But because you manipulated, or you're trying to play this time game of, okay, if I harvest it now, this is going to be good to go and legal. It's just dumb, and it's ignorant to the consumer. And the consumer, only the consumer loses this. And this is unfortunate where the consumer is failing now. Like, it does help people, right? But there's this recent event that happened with that influencer, Eric Kahn, where he's branded with a Delta 9 company.
Everybody should run from influencers. If you are listening to an influencer, that includes us, wave. My God, holy shit, these people should not be influencers. They should go to college. They should do something besides put on mascara and
Am I an influencer? I went to college, so.
show people how amazing their stupid lives are on their fucking phones. It grinds my gears that these influencers are vapid, worthless pieces of shit that don't know what.
Whenever I hear it grinds my gears, I think of Family Guy. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? It really grinds my gears. I might need to watch that. I'm an influencer? Well, I went to college, so whatever.
What the hell they're talking about. us included.
But the ones like I'd say the kids now, they're hurting the end user when they say they're the culture, right? Like this thing, people, it does help people, but when you have a shitty company, and again, I'm going to say Bay Smokes because that's who this whole thing's about.
Bay Smokes.
They create a partnership.
Thank you,
with
Lauren.
him, and they're both like pointing fingers. And the next day, after this thing got all hot, their Twitter feed is still them trying to sell pounds legally, right?
You said it's legal. It's not legal to sell people moldy weed, but
Exactly, Russ. You know what really grinds my gears?
they just say that it is. And then no other lawyers out there going, there is this exception to statutory interpretation that says you can't read a law in the way that gives the exact opposite of its intent. Trying to read the hemp law in a way that says, oh yeah, we can get you super duper high because it's technically not Delta 9 THC at the right amount. Wait, so you're saying that the whole basis for the 0.3 was wrong. That is the Agricultural Commodity Act. That is under the USDA, not the FDA. There's a difference between whether or not we're talking about this hemp being produced for farming, and then after it's picked and harvested, there's no regulations for anything like that, except the FDA saying don't do it. But nobody cares. They just ignore the other half of the law, and they just advertise that it's legal and how high it gets you.
Yeah, and the whole thing is about legalization. Like rescheduling is going to be a positive thing for the consumer, for you.
Lauren, what have you've learned so much on the Edibles Club? That makes me so happy. I try to teach, everything I know. Whatever I know, I teach all of you.
Me, for the average fucking American, right? Like when people talk about the culture is your neighbor. It's whoever. It's not all patients. Some people just smoke on a Friday. It doesn't freaking matter. But your experience with this plant and to be denied knowledge about it, like this whole like entourage effect. So the hemp argument is really sad because legalization is not here because of medical. And rescheduling it can solidify that medical property, that medical stance. Like it's okay you do hash or whatever. But it's medicine for some, and it's a good time for others. That's all it is.
We had a couple of articles about federal news and how now the Harris campaign is pledging to work to legalize marijuana at the federal level. And then if you go to baysmokes.com, you'd be like, you sure it's not already done? Because this is essentially a nationwide online dispensary that is claiming that all their products are 2018 Farm Bill compliant. Miami, Florida. Bay Smokes, LLC, they're making money. Yeah. Need real weed. It's been hemp the whole time. Industrial purposes.
No, exactly. No, and this is where.
Thank you, Lauren. That's so kind of you.
The division, right? Because it's also been part of a racial thing. The rescheduling, I believe, everybody's butthurt. But this is unfortunately how America works, right? Read the fucking manual, right? Everybody talks about it, but no one, the Constitution and all the other stuff. But you don't want to read a little certain section of it. Regulated. Shit.
December 2nd, we are gearing up for December 2nd. That is going to be fun. It is a Monday. Monday's going to be coming in hot there. Maybe we'll try to do the show on a Monday or just live stream it. You go to baysmokes.com. It is an online dispensary completely. Like, you can just buy as much weed as you want and get it shipped to your house right now. Is that going to come up in the hearing? Are they going to be like, yeah, that is messed up?
I hope so. And I wanted to, as an advocate, lifelong, I wanted to go sign up for that thing, but again, it costs to go. This is why things are expensive, like nice things you don't have right away when it comes to bureaucracy, right? Because you have to take time out of your day to go fly somewhere, hotel room, all that stuff, take time from off from work. But people are trying to discredit voters and all this other stuff where, right now, as an independent dude, I don't claim either or.
It's 24% THC.
Creating the proper path, right? For everything, infrastructure. If you make under 500K, hell, if our store rolls, the other guy's shit's going to help us. But I don't want that. I want America to be a functioning machine, right? Like when people cry about my taxes can't afford to supply another person. Like I feed 2 people, raise 2 kids. I know what it costs. Like
I need to get Bon a treat. 1 second. Bon, you want a treat? You want a treat? You want stinky Take it, stinky fish. Okay. Stinky fish. She's got her stinky fish. Okay. All right. Okay, we're back. I don't really know what they're talking about anymore. Let's skip forward a little bit to something.
Oh, this is some guy just, and again, because I didn't really view cannabis hemp industry as two different things, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And it's safe. It was tested.
Yeah, there's a course of recall, right? And I don't think she was asthmatic before, but she says she had an inhaler. And at first, nobody was putting blame on the influencer, right? Because it's like, hey, the company did it for you. But there's still shenanigans, I think, especially even with the company Base Smoke itself.
Sorry.
Where in the cannabis industry, like the culture has always been about the grower, right? Like if Chad Westport gave me some weed, or Jorge Cervantes or Ed Rosenthal, these were trusted brands when it was taboo. So whose weed are we talking about now? Cookies, right?
Base Smokes.
Runts, but like those are the
Base Smokes. Yeah.
But again, the Base Smokes thing, though. Who's the grower? Yeah, you're right. That's it. Where the emphasis.
You have no idea who the grower was. Like,
Know
they
your
might
grower.
not have those records. And
Know your grower.
Trying to trace that farm back to wherever it was in North Carolina, or if it was grown pursuant to a hemp license or not. Good luck with that. But
Know
then
your
a lot of these
grower.
hemp licenses, and I hope the December 2nd hearing brings this stuff up. Like, how do you license? Because then if you're growing the cannabis, predominantly, the reason you're growing the cannabis is for human consumption. It should be regulated the same for, it doesn't matter how much THC is in it, or CBD, because you want pure good stuff making it to the people. You don't want no regulations and then doing chemistry to make whatever cannabinoid they can get that is under the threshold, because you can't play with good old plain old natural Delta-9, so you play with THCJD.
We're talking about a plant where people know how to grow this already safely and know how to do it in mass production.
We're talking about strawberries.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a really good strawberry farmer, whatever. But yeah.
Okay, but like, okay, but hear me out on this. And like, this is why I said I would eat my homegrown weed, but my weed, I would feel nervous smoking it because my lungs, it's just different. You know, I feel like I have more, I know that I have more like filters there to protect myself from contaminants, whereas your lungs, it's like they're so vulnerable. Anyway,
this is unfortunate where you can just, people are hiding behind a COA that's not even like, perhaps, is it real?
They're hiding behind a COA that's not tied to a regulator at all, or a supply chain at all. They don't want diversion. They don't want 500 tons going on. They're trying to prevent that because they want a safe supply and also the taxes they want to get paid. What the consumer wants is low prices and quality products. It is what you told me it is, and the price is nice.
And again, we just want.
Okay, I don't want to listen to these guys anymore. It's a little boring. Boop, boop, boop. I liked what they're saying, but we can say it. Let's get there faster.
For the first time, young women
Yes,
in the U.S.
exactly,
are
Eddie.
consuming more cannabis than men, and that's got retailers rethinking their sales strategies.
Oh.
Recently released results of a 2023 survey by the National Institute on Drug Abuse found women 19 to 30 years old reported higher cannabis use than men of the same age.
Yeah, because they're dealing with men their age, and they need to smoke more pot because of it.
It also found cannabis vaping among all people in that age group is at an all-time high. Stress, anxiety, and mental health concerns were among the top reasons female consumers said they use cannabis products. Although there is reportedly little scientific evidence showing cannabis helps with these issues. Reuters says cannabis companies.
What? I hate shit like what?
Are now shifting their retail offerings.
I know, I need to come to the
accommodate
vape
this
side,
change,
Kathy.
especially as cannabis becomes increasingly more legal and socially acceptable across the U.S. The co-founder of Get Cannafacts, a cannabis data firm, says women are more likely to buy from the industry's legal market than their male counterparts are. Top cannabis retailers told Reuters they've started refocusing shelf space toward products that are popular with women, like edibles, tinctures, topicals, and beverages.
That's what I'm saying. Marigold Sweets needs to be in more shops. I'm trying to get into some dispensaries in the Bay Area because they are just perfect for everybody, but especially for women. So,
to keep up with all your latest headlines, download the Straight Arrow News.
Okay, no, Straight Arrow. I'm not gonna do that. How about that? Okay. I see you, Bon Bon. Oh, you wanna give me your lamb? Get it. No, I threw it the other way. Over there. Over there. Over there.
What is up and welcome back to my channel. We
Hi.
have officially hit 200K on this channel.
Cool.
Oh, that was anticlimactic.
Where'd it go, Bon Bon? Over there.
Today is a celebration video. We are going to be celebrating 200,000 subscribers with 200 hits of weed. When 2024 started, my goal was to hit 200K by the end of the year. And I gotta be honest with you guys, like up until a couple months ago, I was nowhere near on track to hitting that. I honestly didn't think I was gonna be able to, but I just kept plugging away, kept doing it. And here we are. So in true Mac Dizzle fashion, I figured what better way to celebrate 200,000 subscribers than with 200 hits of weed. All right, let's go crazy. I'm not just gonna like puff a joint 200 times. We're gonna break up the rips in interesting ways. All right.
Good. Let's
so we
see
have
how
bong,
she does it.
Puffco, joints, my actual rig, and this Stunden glass. Oh Lord, it's 11. I'm starting this late. It's 11 a.m. We are starting 200 hits. First thing we're doing is a bong rip.
I can't do this for you guys. I'm sorry. But she's cool.
First bong rip done. We're off to a really good start. I'm gonna do another bong rip right now. All right, first 2 hits down. I thought it could be cute if we took a dab outside together. I'm gonna count each exhale as a hit. And if you have a problem with that, please file it with the complaint department.
Yeah, that's fair.
Holy shit, I almost forgot. So the joints that I'll be consuming today for this little challenge are from Moonwalker. And in celebration of 200,000 subscribers, I wanted to show
The
my love
movie
and
clubs.
appreciation for you guys.
Movie.
And
Yeah,
I'm
she
trying to be
did.
very careful in the way that I word
She
this.
did.
It rhymes with live away.
Where'd your
Here
lamb
I have
go?
this box from Moonwalker. Moonwalker
Where'd your
is
lamb
one
go?
of my favorite online stores. They have probably my favorite edibles available right now. So you see this beautiful box? It's filled
We need to
with
get her
adult
marigold
gummies
sweets.
and pre-rolls. I think it would be really cool if this belonged to one of you.
Okay,
These
let's keep
hits.
going.
I brought out a pen and some sticky notes so I can keep track of the hits.
Good
'cause
idea.
I have ADHD and I will forget.
Because you're stoned.
On one of my recent videos, I asked if people who had ADHD, if they can smoke more than their friends who don't have ADHD. And I feel like a common sentiment amongst us was, yes, we can outsmoke our non-neurodivergent friends. And I think they need to look
What do you guys think about that?
into that.
She's gonna do this so easily. Look at those dogs. They're so cute. She looks so sad. Maybe she's not gonna do this so easily.
Oh my god, how many hits did I
I
just
have
take?
no
think at least
idea. That's a good question, Lauren. I have no
Counting the
idea.
hits takes some part of the enjoyment.
Like, how many
out of it.
joints is that? Look at those dogs.
I wondered how many hits it takes to get through a joint. Today we'll find out. Sure, it's different for everybody depending on how big their hits are, but
No, depending
we'll
on
find
how
out
big
my
your
number.
joint is. My dog is so mad at me. I walked you. We're not going to the park today. I'm sorry. Don't get mad at me.
I have a feeling that
Be right back.
I'm not doing the best job keeping track of this. So it'll be interesting to see this in editing. We are almost done with it.
Sorry, this joint got me. Pre-rolls always get me. They're not. I don't love pre-rolls.
All right. 28 hits. Let's go
Yeah.
add it to the board. What a fun little side quest for the day. Okay, see? We've made some real progress.
Sorry, Stuart.
now. We've
I just
done
cough
36
sometimes.
hits so far. It is currently 12:25, so I've been at this for an hour and a half, and I don't think I've made enough progress for an hour and a half. I really don't.
See? Ugh.
Honestly, I only got 2 hits out of the puffco that time. Sometimes that's just how it happens. So this device is actually pretty cool. It's called the Module. It works for both flour and wax. I'm gonna do a flour attachment.
She looks like she's about to shit. Like she's in pain.
I'm counting it as 4. All right, let's just top that off with another bong rip, right?
This is painful. I don't know if I can watch all of this. It's making me not want to smoke.
Really, really good. It is 1 p.m. and I think it's time for another dab.
Right? Kingin, you better have really good weed.
I took a little break.
This is where I get worried about CHS. You know, like excess of use. Oh my god, you guys, this wig. It might be the wig net thing. Oh, that feels a little better. I don't know how people... I'm the DJ. I can play whatever I want. I don't know how people wear wigs all the time because this fucking hurts.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video, not channel, video. Okay, so today I got some new shit from the dispensary, so I want to show y'all that. And I also, hold on, let me back up a little bit. How's y'all days going? How are you guys doing? It's been a minute, I know.
I can't watch this. I'm sorry. Let me see what she ends up doing.
Oh, my brain. Okay, bold flavors, Caribbean breeze.
I don't know what these oh, Stizzy. No, we're not watching this. We're not watching this. Let me find something else. Do 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 do. I didn't mind these guys. Let's watch another thing, but I just don't want them to be like a 5-hour video. Just sum it up for me, please. make it short and sweet. Next! That's what Charlie said. Yeah, that's how I felt about that. Oh yeah, we were supposed to pass that.
What's happening, everybody? It's me, Tom, from Cannabis
Tom.
Legalization News, to which you are tuning in.
Yes,
Welcome.
we are.
We have our election special this week. It's on the ballot in numerous states, and not just it, some psychedelic stuff too. So we're going to go over those. Which states? Find out.
Hey, man, so Florida, right? We have many
Florida's
states.
the big one. Florida's the big one. That's right. How many people live in Florida? It's like 26 million or something like that. Like, it's a lot of people live in Florida.
Is it? Let's see. Over 21 million. Close.
Florida has 6 times the number of legal dispensaries as my state of Illinois. Illinois is like 225. I want to say Florida's got like 1,300, and they're just medical, completely vertically integrated. Florida has a vibrant medical cannabis market.
Fulcrum? What's Fulcrum Megatron? Put it in the chat and I'll go to it.
Where you can buy decent prices. The thing is, it's all vertically integrated and super millionaire status to be operating, because you have to do the whole grow, all the process, and every dispensary is like a branded Apple store of only your products. So you have to stock 100% of your shelves. So it's very expensive.
Yeah, that's wild, because then you have to be you have to be totally
where you can buy decent prices. The thing is, people live in Florida. Florida has 6 times the number of legal dispensaries as my state of Illinois. Illinois is like 225. I want to say Florida's got like 1,300, and they're just medical, completely vertically integrated. Florida has a vibrant medical cannabis market where you can buy decent prices. The thing is, it's all vertically integrated and super millionaire status to be operating.
So does everyone know what vertically integrated means? It means that you do all of the different licenses. You're cultivating, manufacturing, distributing, all of it. Manufacturing means making oils, making edibles, any of those products. Cultivation meaning flower, growing. And then distribution is, we can't like go to FedEx. I can't like go and drive my chocolates to the dispensary. You have to have someone with a distribution license who takes them to the licensed dispensaries. Now it's all vertically integrated. That means that everyone has all of those licenses except for excuse me, except for a laboratory license is held separate for obvious reasons. So because the industry can't regulate itself.
Because you have to do the whole grow.
That's wild, I agree. I know from t-shirts. True Leaf. Yeah, Michelle. So Fulcrum is a cannabis content creator. Can you put that in the chat, Megatron, please? Thank you. Because I tried to Google it and I got field data collection and process management platform with AI. So if you could put Fulcrum into the club chat, I'll check it out and then we can watch it. Okay, Michelle, yeah, True Leaf is behind legalization in Florida, and they were approached about adding home grows to the legislation, but they obviously were like, fuck that. Why do we want people growing their own? We don't want that. Sorry, my throat. Let me get some water really quickly. I ran out. Stomp, stomp, stomp. No bonbon. No treats. She always wants more treats. Smoke Steve, on the plus side of vertical integration, the profit margin is much higher. Yes, that's true. There is no middleman. Yes. Totally. And you're not, like exactly. There is no middleman. But that's just, it's very expensive. It means like I wouldn't be able to operate, right? Like if that was required in California, Marigold Sweets would not exist because I'm so small. And I talk about it in my cookbook. I talk about how I started and what I worked under and just how I grew my business. But if I had to be vertically integrated and have all of those licenses, then I mean, I'd love it. I'd love to be able to have a Marigold Sweets dispensary and a cafe and do all of this cool stuff. But yeah, I didn't have that kind of backing to be able to do it. So, i.e. me. Marigold was started out of a microwave in a clothing store in Hayes Valley, San Francisco. So you can read all about it in my cookbook, How to Eat Weed and Have a Good Time. Lauren Pulitzer, the weed is so reasonable here. Yeah. Because there's no middleman, and I don't know what the regulations are as far as like taxes and things like that. What, you want more treats? I know you want more treats, Bonbon. You always want more treats. I'm giving her these herring. She loves them. Okay, take your fish. Go away. They stink like ass, though. Disgusting. Ugh, God, get away from me. She loves them. Anyway, what's that in the background? God, don't freak me out. What is it? Lauren's wife here. Tish. Hi, Tish. I came in the house shocked to hear your voice. Nice. Shocked? Wait, why? My voice? I feel like I'm always, because I haven't been lives in... Remember, I used to do lives. Did I do them every week? That was how the club started, was with cooking lives. I don't remember what the first recipe was, but I remember when I made the gnocchi, I forgot to put cheese in it, and it was a real bummer. I always fuck it up somehow. That's okay. I mean, and it works out at the same time. That was a long time ago. That was during the pandemic. Very scary time. Did you eat that? No more fish. I can't give you another fish. If you guys saw this dog talking to me right now, she just went like, I said, you can't have any more fish. And she just went, like, she's furiously twirling. What do I do? Do I give her another fish? I don't know what to do. I feel like she's telling me what to do. That's how it feels at this point. I see you twirling. Yes, I do. Anyway, you guys can all vote. Here, you know what? I'll make it a poll. Oops. Let me make it a poll. She trained me. Kathy, I know. Let's see. Should Bonbon get another treat? Let's see, Bonbon, your fate is in the hands of the club right now. right? Oh my God, 100% yes. Well, listen, I'll just gonna ignore her for a little bit, and then I'll give her a treat for twirling later, because she twirls all the time, and she is very excited and very huffy with me, and I don't like the huffiness, you know. I don't want to reward the huffiness. But I also feel guilty because I know she's huffy because she's like, you know, I want to go to the park. I want to go hang out with my friends and play, and I don't want to watch you sit in front of that box thing. But she's just a little baby. What can you do? Okay, let's keep watching things. She'll leave me alone.
All the process.
Did oh my God, it's Man City football, Man City footy. I don't know what you're talking about in the background though, because it's scaring me. That's my couch in the background.
And every dispensary is like a branded Apple store of only your products.
Right.
So
Okay.
you have to stock 100% of your shelves. So it's very expensive.
It is.
Get a
things,
Okay.
right? Bureaucracy. Takes a long time to get a bill amendment, whatever
Happy
it is.
Halloween,
a rule
Brian.
change out there. And money's been dumped, right? People want to complain about True Leave, MSOs, and all this other stuff, but they're doing good work to get this thing through. And also, 60% of the vote. This is a huge percentage of people
Right.
to get on board for a rule, which is
That's
crazy.
one of the reasons why we're going to deep dive into it. Like, it's not the best, and there's a lot of constraints for why it's not the best. Legislatively, the Florida General Assembly could do something about it to fix it, but they won't. So they're giving a single issue to their voters, because that's how a lot of these ballot initiatives operate. You can only ask one thing, and this law has been challenged previously by the DeSantis administration. So that possession caps are silly to a certain extent.
Yeah, and just to go to one more point about like why this bill, Amendment 3, should be a yes. Get out, vote, register, check, please do all that stuff. If you live in Florida, this is your chance to have that legal weed. What's a good policy when the Department of Transportation, Florida's fucking government's fighting it, right? Like they're actively investing money in a campaigning against you to say no on this thing.
This is going to be interesting because Colorado.
Okay, so now we're going to
aren't dabbling in
Massachusetts.
it yet, but like once you understand how you do
Why did I
the
think
applications,
Massachusetts
like
was
one of the things that
recreational?
collateral base should diversify into is government contract acquisition. We should just start drafting requests for proposals for government money. Like that's what.
The costume was supposed to be Morticia, but it's okay. I could have been any of those.
Cannabis licensing very often is just creating a completely compliant dictionary.
Bonbon had a Wednesday Addams costume on. She was not very happy about it. She only wore it for a second, though. I didn't leave it on her very long because I knew she didn't like it.
Thick application for why you will be good with the license. So we could do that for $2 billion otherwise it's going to Raytheon, man. Think about it. You don't want it to go to Raytheon.
When it comes to business side of things, yeah, I know what you're saying. Like we like to develop more into this, but like they're really just jumping into the pool here, doing both with the psychedelics and cannabis. Like every other state has done it one at a time.
Oh, Massachusetts has been legal. Massachusetts is like the OG of the East Coast.
Hi, Marvin.
Massachusetts has been legal since at least, I think, 8 years ago.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
It's legal in Massachusetts. This is for the next step. We're getting into more legalization news. Now psychedelics are starting to show up on the ballot.
I see. They're talking about sit. Good girl. Sit. Stay. Get out of here. Everyone wanted her to get another treat anyway, so she got one. I see. Poll is ended, everybody. I see. You voted yes for psychedelics. Okay, that's good to know. Hi, everybody. Sorry I'm late. JL Sanders, don't apologize. You got here right on time. So cool. That's what they are talking about for Massachusetts is psychedelics.
Initiatives. Colorado's already done that. They have their
Right,
licensing
Colorado did
window
that.
for psychedelics, which we haven't.
I'm not so
we
interested
could start
in-
marketing and
in-
prepping that, but
Chocolate psychedelics.
but just stick it in our wheelhouse for now.
It's plant medicine though, right? Psychedelics is
It's government shit. And so like when you write grants or you write license applications or you write like requests for proposals for government contracts, there's a specific way that you have to do it to be compliant and be able to get all the eligibility
Rick Rentals,
points
you're
and therefore
funny.
be awarded the government contract or be awarded the government license, those types of things.
right on. Yeah, I mean, again, this is for a plant product versus
Okay,
say like something I would do
Massachusetts.
would be like a DoD contract for servicing equipment.
But,
It's all kind of the
you
same.
read the two applications.
Nebraska.
So it's a medical initiative, not a recreational. I thought it was going to be recreational, but
No, Nebraska's further behind than you'd
Yeah.
think, but I
Wow.
like it. 5 ounces for Nebraska for patients. Now, the funniest thing is because of IHDs and the hemp market, you can buy all the weed you want in Omaha. And they're just calling it THCA flower. They're just calling
Right.
it whatever
Yeah, but
new
it's
IHD
not-
they've made up and put into a bazillion gram vape.
It's not the
Yeah.
same.
All of that is there, and you can find it. So it just goes to show that the politics probably is going to line back up. It's like a disturbance in the forest where you're like, wow, they really hate this stuff when it comes from nature. But you go into a lab with something you called hemp that is a little bit of it, and you come back with something that gets you really high, and they just don't know. The average person, when you talk to them about hemp, they go, "You mean like CBD?"
and again, it's part of the education of legalization with
Right.
the hemp marijuana conversation
Right.
and wellness. And one of the things that Nebraska and the next 2 states we're going to talk about, North and South Dakota, that whole section of America.
I'm not gonna lie. I can't wait to wash this makeup off. Okay, Nebraska. Da 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 da. Sorry, I don't really care what they have to say about Nebraska. What are they saying here? Oh, you want me to throw your sloth? Get it. Okay, sorry. My dog is like a child.
Press conference with him to say how bad it is, and then meanwhile he's got Franken hemp like all over the state.
Dude, this goes back to leadership. That guy using the government to use his agenda, right? Like was petitioning against something that could be an option for the people. That's insane. And then creating this divide amongst the stupid ass plant. We're so divided as Americans in different topics. But I think on the most, cannabis is one of those ones where we just educate people and they're like, oh, you're right. That was much ado about nothing. That was a nothing burger.
Yeah, it was. And so speaking of that, I think this is one of the ones. Before we get to the Dakotas, I don't think this one made it into the show notes. But did you see what?
Sorry, sorry, Eddie. That was not very nice to Nebraska, but it just was kind of boring to me. I just wanted him to tell me like what's happening in Nebraska. Okay, let's get over it. Then let's skip to the next one. I just don't think it needs to be 40 minutes long. That's all. That's all I'm saying. Although here I am streaming for 2 hours, but you know you can put these guys on 1.5 playback speed. That's true. Does everyone want me to do that? Let's do 1.5. Okay, there we go. Then we can go back to Nebraska. Where the hell was Nebraska? Here we go.
So it's a medical initiative, not a recreational. I thought it was going to be recreational. But
No, Nebraska's further behind than you'd think, but I like it. 5 ounces for Nebraska for patients. Now, the funniest thing is because of IHDs and the hemp market, you can buy all the weed you want in Omaha. And they're just calling it THCA flower. They're just calling it whatever new IHD they've made up and put into a bazillion gram.
Wait, let me read what Jail is saying. So real shit. I've been with my plumber, who's a good friend. Went with him to a job, and on the way back, he pulls out a blunt and smoked me out all the way home. Just got out of the truck. That's so fun. Well, welcome home. Marvin, I pre-rolled a joint last night, so I'd be prepared when I got home today. That's so sweet. Smoking together. Okay, let's keep watching what they're saying on super speed.
vape,
Yeah.
all of that is there, and you can find it. So it just goes to show that the politics probably is going to line back up. It's like a disturbance in the forest where you're like, wow, they really hate this stuff when it comes from nature. But you go into a lab, there's something you called hemp that is a little bit
Right,
of it.
exactly.
You come back with
It's
something
so
that's really
weird.
high, and they just don't know. The average
So
person,
stupid.
when you talk to them about hemp, they go, "You mean like CBD?"
And again, it's part of the education of legalization with the hemp marijuana conversation and wellness. And one of the things that Nebraska and the next two states we're going to talk about, North and South Dakota, that whole section of America seems to be like this forgotten cousin that I thought the internet would bring us on the same page. But unfortunately, with these people, you have to explain what
As
kind
I
of
skip
benefit
past it.
legalizing this plant would bring, not the collapse of the nation, but also like here in Washington
Sorry.
State, there's an article on the Spokesman Review about how
Maybe I need
there's
to
a
visit
discrepancy of our
Nebraska.
seed-to-sale tracking program and what the state has recorded, right? So the tracking program thinks $0.3 billion. It's $1 billion
Yeah, it's a lot of numbers.
per sold. Now, what was actually registered was $1.3 billion. Fucking
That's less.
nation state money, right?
Yeah.
Like billion.
Yeah, it's less. It's really less. Right.
But Nebraska, they can use this revenue, and they're beautiful parts
Oh,
of
I
the
don't
country.
think.
Marvin, what are you gonna do? You're gonna have to roll out of bed and get your joint. This is a long day. I'm sorry. I like days where you have no obligations, you know, and it's rainy, and there's something good to watch on TV, and you have your favorite thing to eat. Those are my favorite days. I'm sorry that wasn't your day.
I don't think there's that many.
You too, JL? Shit. Well, welcome to the Edibles Club. Club sesh. We're hanging out. What's Bonbon got in her mouth? A treat. Good. Eat that treat, Bonbon. She's got so many fucking treats. She doesn't want treats, so she wants my attention all the time. Okay. Ugh. This wig, you guys, it just keeps getting in my eye.
People that live in Nebraska, seriously, they would have left if they had something better to do.
Wow, the tourism to be thing. if
Not
that's what
very
they want. There's so many
nice.
options that
2 million
being negated.
Wait, come on.
They're farm country too.
But it's basically like the population of New Mexico, bro. There's like nobody there.
So we're like trying to convince like 10 people right now. Is that what the?
Yeah, and they all
that
look.
is?
And that's the thing, like,
you can love weed too. They do.
yeah,
A lot of people do.
Yeah, I don't get it. Right. That blue dot. Can the blue dot legalize it? There'll be like 1/3 of Nebraska that has legal weed, and the other 2/3 will drive to it.
I've been through those places, right? And you go through with a certain expectation, but not everybody's bad. I think there's a good chance we come out on this progress that we have going forward.
Well, Marvin, that's okay. You can have had worse days, but today was still a hard day. And I hope you do something nice for yourself. You know. Smoke that joint. Or don't. If you don't want to get up, that's okay. Just do what your body tells you.
Because rescheduling is going to change things.
No way, man. Donald Trump's going to win. Everybody who's voting for Trump, be confident that he's going to win. Polls are never wrong.
Yeah, go out
Stay
November 8th. That's election day.
Yes, November 8th is the election day. It's on a third Friday this year. They wanted more participation.
Oh, yeah.
It's a shame we don't
I
get that
am
day
not-
off. I swear. You hope there's like this average intelligence that we have as Americans, where I think we see how things are happening. I don't know what other people do, like how this past 4 years have been bad, besides fear mongering about like your jobs being taken by illegals, right? Or what? They're manipulating the weather so they can knock out the port. What the fuck is going on, dude? What timeline are we on?
Right.
Jon Stewart on his Daily Show was like that this week, where he's like, wait, did we all die in COVID? Just because like how bananas stuff's gotten. But oh yeah, stuff's pretty nuts. And what can you do?
Okay, so they're not talking about anything here. I want to go to another
everything you do
state.
for a living.
Oh hell, the robot.
Oh, they will be here.
North Dakota.
Now to the Dakotas. We have news out of both, which means I think we're talking about less than 2 million people.
What do I think about these guys? I think they have good things to say about what's happening, like when they get to the point. I'm interested in what they have to say. I wish it was summarized differently. Like they're kind of just shooting the shit, which is cool. But like, I'd like to see all of this information cut down into like a minute, maybe 3 minutes. What's happening in the States? But boom, 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 boom. Give me a list so I know, and I can be like, all right, here's, there's a lot of fluff. That's what I think. But that's cool. That's their show. And clearly it does well, so who am I to say anything? Go get the sloth. You know? But I think when I can get to what they're saying, to their point, it's interesting, and I agree.
People, pretty much like in
They're
Nebraska.
smart.
And so North Dakota Measure 5. North Dakota Measure 5, marijuana legalization initiative on the ballot. A yes vote supports legalizing recreational marijuana, allowing individuals to possess up to 1 ounce, 4 grams of concentrate, 300 milligrams of edibles, and allowing individuals to grow 3 plants with a 6-plant limit per household. That would have gotten denied in Florida because they said, and allowing individuals to grow 3 plants, because that they would have attacked that for the single subject rule violation.
Each state's different, right? The chicanery that happens in each state.
Yes.
Single subject rule violation.
You see a lot of echoes of the same crap, but yes, you have to read. You'd be like, there's law here in this state. Give it to me. And then there's usually variants on it, but there's a lot that's the same.
But isn't this like Groundhog Day? Was it North or South Dakota that it went through, but then it got battled down because of an extra word or direction or something like that?
Let me see. Who's got that one crazy dog killer as the governor?
Oh, yeah, Nome.
Oh, yeah. God.
Who's got Nome as the governor? South Dakota, Kristi Noem. And so they have some chicanery. But North Dakota's population is only 800,000. What about South Dakota?
Wow, that's like a small city.
No shit. That's like Seattle.
Yeah, no, 100%. I really hope
What do you mean about
people
small towns?
It's unfortunate that the people in power are the ignorant
smaller.
ones and the ones that have the ability to create rules based on their feelings. Like that's been like the American process we've been fighting for a long time, making rules based on your feelings. For Kentucky, Tennessee, like they all have this stigma about it, right? I say banjos, you know what I'm talking about automatically. So there's certain things you just don't have to dig deep into. But hopefully North and South, hopefully these guys get caught up. Because I think the revenues that come in from this and the potential is just going to enable the poor citizen who wants to get involved, or even the sick patient. Right? This benefits the fucking average American. This is not a Seattle, Washington, even though like my life is easy. I just went and got some Obama Kush at the store.
I'm up for the Obama Kush, everybody. Yeah. And don't forget.
Marvin, Eddie wants to see the collabs, right? I know. I'm working on it.
Get to hit the subscribes. Now, we just talked about one big flyover state with about 800,000 people. Let's go to the big flyover state right underneath it with about 900,000 people. So between the two of them, you have less than the population of Nebraska. And that makes 1, 2, 3 of the 4 states legalizing it because Arkansas got tossed. These states, these red states, they don't have a lot of people in them. And what's the population of Washington State? Like 7, 8 million?
Something like that. What it just occurred to me because you have these two competing states who are border states. But the winner of these 2 states is going to pull in all that revenue I've been talking about. The winner of these 2 states, if both win, you're going to have an overall fair market. But if one,
I agree. I would like to interview these guys. I'd love to have them on the club. I wonder if they would do it. I should reach out to them. Very cool.
Legalizes it, and then the governor decides not to put a lawsuit against it to stymie it, we'll be racking in so much dough. Not that gas station weed.
Not that gas station weed, but then there's not that many people. But still, like they should have the right to vote for their own legalization. And now it's different. And so it looks like South Dakota's got that more stringent, like single subject kind of thing. I think that's what Governor Noem attacked. And so in South Dakota, there it's called Initiated Measure 29. Yes on 29 in South Dakota. So they had to put a lot of signatures, 22,000 valid signatures to get it on the November ballot. It appears that it has one of those single subjects where it's vote yes to adopt the measure, vote no to leave South Dakota law as is. And I believe the measure is this: South Dakota already has laws that allow people to use marijuana products for health reasons. We cannot sacrifice the health and safety of our children and our communities for this addiction for profit industry, leaving South.
Enthusiasts. Yeah, that's true, Marvin. That's a good synonym.
Dakotas to pay the price. Vote yes to adopt the measure. Vote no to leave South Dakota as is. Like almost as they put some editorial comment into it, but I'm not sure if that's literally it. I'm gonna have to pull up the article on that. Ballotopedia.
And again, to actually have legalization that we all want and love one day, where you can go to the store and buy seeds. And so, like in Washington State, I still can't buy seeds. Like that rule it's just weird. Or there's very many variables that you're surprised when you learn about our state.
That's really weird.
When I learn about your state, I'm like, okay, that makes sense why you have less robberies because you guys structured your infrastructure a certain way. Whereas like Arizona has legal weed, but now there's an ordinance about to come up in this upcoming election because it's that time where you can do taxes and get extra revenues or create change for policies and laws. And there's a township, an area that's proposing to tax medical marijuana upcoming, which obviously will be a fucking incumbent. So there's a local amendment 1 in, let's see if I can find the township, Coleman County. Like what would you say, rescheduling it?
News consumers, news eaters, news munchers.
It's not going to be legalization until it's codified, right? Till there's absolute protections, till people aren't harassed or someone has the ability to harass somebody for smoking something that looks like a rolled up cigarette. Like, how do we get to that point? Legalization, overall.
Legalization. I have the text
News
about it
fanatics.
now. It's pretty long, and so it may still have the single subject aspects of it, or however they sued previously. But it says, and there's an attorney general explanation of it.
Okay.
And so, like, the attorney general has said, this is what it means: vote yes to adopt, vote no to not. But adults 21 and older possess, grow, ingest, and distribute marijuana or marijuana possession. Individuals may possess up to 2 ounces in a form other than concentrate. Individuals may possess up to 6 plants with no more than 12 per household, and limits on the possession of other forms of marijuana products. Of course, you'd still have DUIs, and who can possess it. They allows employers to restrict employees' use of it, which, there you go, it's not really legal if your boss says no. It does not affect state laws dealing with hemp, so it doesn't do anything about the frankenweed. And so there you go. It's a judicial or legislative clarification of this measure may be necessary.
Yeah, I do need to roll another one.
In this process that we got so far in every state, it's just legalizing consumption, right? And even technically in Washington State, you need to own the property you're on, and then you can consume. As a renter, I can't legally consume if my landlord said you can't do that, which for the most part, you respect like the rights or whatever was being asked of you wherever you're at, but then you're home, because America, you expect to have this freedom. But unless you actually own the property, you don't. And so that's what each state's so different, the law. So we need this parity, this thing that's going to be equal everywhere, not just here for consumption. Because that's all we're legalizing, is the right to go buy to the store.
I need to roll another joint, right, Eddie? Sorry, I'm reading the comments without saying who I'm responding
then we can start to see what federal policy might look like through an actual new rule. I hope the rule is here and enforced before we open our doors, because I don't want to have to keep 2 separate sets of books for tax liability purposes. Yeah, I might have.
I think there's a delay. I was agreeing with Brian. Time to roll up another joint. Yes. Yes, Brian, it is time to roll up another joint. That's what I'm saying. Okay, right. Yes, let's do that. Good idea. Thank you for reminding me.
Have to. Nor do we want to be constantly milked for something that can be established. Like a store.
Yeah. Let's say you did 50 large last month in gross revenue or gross profits. Give a fifth of that to Uncle Sam every month, and then pay all your expenses. Usually you're allowed to pay all your expenses before you got to pay Uncle Sam.
But like, again, we're just trying to search for a fair way to do business. I want to be able just to focus on the community. I want to be able to focus on the market that we're going to be serving, because it's not YouTube. It's going to be Pekin, Illinois. Is it how you say it? Pekin?
Yeah, it's got an interesting past, let's say.
I get
the
it,
demographic
man.
appears good. Yeah.
It's fucking America, man.
Okay, is that all of the states?
But like,
oh no, compared to like.
Well, very interesting. Very interessante. I never got this fulcrum, and I don't know how to find it, so sorry about that. We're gonna look up something else. Let's look up, what are we gonna cook this Saturday? What should we cook for the live? I feel like we're going into fall, you know? I feel like we're going into fall. Let's see if there's anything. Soup weather. Yeah, it is a time for, let's see if anyone's ever done THC soup or cannabis soup. Copy link address. That's what to do.
Hi, welcome to Infused Eats, the cannabis infused cooking show with a cannabis infused toast. Today we're making savory butternut cream soup.
Okay.
This episode is sponsored by the Mighty Fast Herbal Infuser. You can save money on my favorite cannabis infused butter making machine at theherbalinfuser.com by using the code ROUGHHOUSE.
Okay, well, we don't.
Now this episode.
You can join the Edibles Club today to learn how to make canna butter and oil that's not super green.
Is another and part of our ongoing series of garden summer fresh recipes. And today we're focusing on the butternut squash, also known as the winter squash, but don't let that fool you. It can be a nice addition to a summertime recipe. And if our lizard friends don't mind, we're going to bill for the garden for our ingredients that we need today. And those are the butternut squash, 2 carrots,
those
1 small
chilies.
onion, a potato,
I have those.
a jalapeno pepper, a tablespoon of olive oil, salt and pepper, a can of chicken broth or vegetable broth, 2 tablespoons of cannabis infused butter or olive oil, and we'll talk about that in a second, a stalk of celery, 3 leaves of fresh
Peeled and 1 medium butternut squash, 2 carrots peeled and cubed, 1 small onion, 1 potato, 1 jalapeno pepper, sliced and de-seeded, 1 tablespoon olive oil, 1 can chicken broth or vegetable broth. See, if you're going to make soup, you need to have, you don't need to, but I recommend having homemade broth. Even if you go and you get a chicken leg and you just make a small amount of broth, you know, it's a soup. It's such a part of it, is that broth. And then 2 tablespoons cannabis infused butter, 1 stalk celery, 3 leaves fresh sage, cream cheese, interessante.
Sage, and this is key. 4 ounces of cream cheese and 1 cup of whole milk.
Interessante. So it's a creamy.
Okay, now we have all of our items gathered together, so let's get ready to make our canna butter. Now this recipe uses regular standard canna.
Wait, I'm sorry, I forgot. I didn't see these comments. I want these guys to smoke with the 200-hour YouTuber. Yeah, that would be funny. Marvin, soup weather. Stuart, Italian food. Brian, Italian wedding soup with infused meatballs. We can do that on Saturday. That's a good idea. It can be one of our Italian episodes. I'm trying to think of what to call the Italian recipes that we do. Ezekiel, pre-ordered your book. Oh my God, thank you. When did you do that? Did you send me your address so I can handwrite you a card? I just got the cards and I'm spending tomorrow handwriting them before I go and visit Be Real. I got a bunch of people who pre-ordered my cookbook, How to Eat Weed and Have a Good Time. If you don't know about it already, and if you do, I'm, sorry I sound like a broken record, but I love my book. I want everyone to get it.
Butter, nothing really special about it. You could make that with regular cannabis flowers, or you could also make it with rosin chips. But no matter how you make it, you do definitely want to make sure that it's decarbed and fully activated, because it's not going to be.
Okay, so rosin chips are like when they squish everything out of it, what's left over.
Heat in this recipe enough to activate it or cook it anymore. So rather than go through a full, complete step-by-step on how to make canna butter, again, I'm just going to refer you to some links on how to make canna butter, or recommend that you also use the herbal infuser or a device like that to make your canna butter as per their instructions. In which case you do want to decarb in front, 250 degrees Fahrenheit for 35 minutes is what I'm recommending, and then make your canna butter as per the directions. And you could also use store-bought canna butter.
Yeah.
Okay, presuming you have your canna butter made, we're going to go ahead and start prepping our veggies. So the first thing I'm going to do is going to break down this butternut squash. Then we'll cut the ends off of it, split it in half, and then gut out the seeds and the innards of it.
So the reason why I think this is a good soup, and I talk about this in the cookbook, is because it's using a cream in it so that the fat is going to be more homogenized and more spread out throughout the soup, rather than in, say, a chicken soup where it just sits right on the top. So it's harder, more difficult to distribute that equally between bowls.
You also want to peel it, which I found was a lot easier to do than with a knife by using a carrot cutter. The knife can be really hard on these. Okay, once you have your butternut squash peeled.
Marvin, good job. I'm proud of you. Making it to the living room. Light it up.
And de-seeded, we're going to break it down into smaller pieces. And this will just make it cook a lot faster and a little more evenly.
Okay.
Roasting the vegetables is going to give this soup a lot of its flavor. So what we're doing now is we're preparing all of our vegetables for a nice roasting. So I'm started with the butternut squash.
Okay, we get
For a little bit of spice in this recipe, I've put in some jalapeno pepper.
Jalapeno.
If you want it to be sweet, you could also use a sweet pepper instead. Or if you want it to be more spicy, you could use a hotter pepper.
Hotter pepper.
Okay, I'm also adding some onion. I call for 1 regular or small onion. These onions that I picked from the garden were actually a little extra small,
Those
so I
are
added
tiny.
about 3 of them.
Cipollini.
We need 1 red potato, or actually any kind of potato is fine. There's no need to peel the potato. And then we're going to need a couple of carrots. Because I'm using these little baby carrots from the garden, I'm using several, but you need the equivalent of about 2 carrots, which will add some color and some sweetness to the recipe. Okay, then we're going to drizzle it with our olive oil, and we're also going to salt and pepper this to taste, and toss it around and make sure you get all those vegetables nice and coated with both the seasoning as well as the olive oil. And that's going to go and roast in the oven, 375 degrees Fahrenheit, for about an hour. It may take a little bit longer, but what you want is to get your vegetables to start caramelizing on the outside like that, to be cooked fully through, and to look deliciously edible just as they are. All right, and we can go ahead and move on now. You also could do this in parallel with each other just to keep the recipe kind of simple. I showed it in steps. So now we're making the actual soup base, which I'm going to start by dicing my stalk of celery, fresh
Okay.
sage, and this is key to the recipe. Sage has a very piney aromatic flavor, and this is going to help disguise the cannabis flavor, because I want the soup to taste delicious, not just to be infused with some canna butter. So the trick in this recipe is to disguise the flavor of the cannabis, to marry it into the soup using this fresh sage. So I've diced my sage just into strips to help it infuse. And into a saucepan, we're going to add our chicken broth. You can also use vegetable broth. And now I'm adding in my butter. And this is actually olive oil and butter blended together. It's an infused, kind of strong infusion that I had already. So I'm using a blend of butter and olive oil. You could use one or other or both. And here we go. We added in our celery and our sage, our canna butter, salt, pepper, and our chicken or vegetable stock. And this is where we're making our stock for our soup base here.
Okay,
So we're going to simmer that for about 45 minutes on low.
Okay.
We don't want it to really boil, just barely simmer, just like that. And we're just getting the flavor and the oils out of that sage to blend in there with the cannabis, and also the flavor of that celery, and into the soup and the butter. And now we're straining it all out. And you can see that now we have just a soup base that is infused with our cannabis, and also has this great piney flavor of the sage in it. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the final step of this recipe, and that's going to be to combine all of our ingredients. So into a large blender, I've added in the cream cheese, added in my milk, and now I'm adding in that soup base that we made. So our broth is being added in that has our infused oil in it. And now I'm adding in those roasted root vegetables.
Doing that, right?
And I think you can see where we're going here. We're combining all those ingredients into our blender. And here we go. I've got a big heavy-duty industrial blender here, but if you need to break it into a couple of batches, just do that. Blend it a little while. I mixed it up, and then I blend it again to make sure all of those sediments that could be heavy in the bottom there.
You can just use an
get a chance to
immersion
blend up and be
blender
nice
too
and smooth
if
like
you
see
have
there.
one of those.
So it's going to look a lot like a smoothie when we're finished, but smoothies aren't really as smooth as you might think. So if you like a hearty soup, you could go ahead and serve it just as it is here. It's a little bit thicker. But if you want to make a really nice, impressive, refined soup, we're going to sieve that through a mesh filter. And you see where we're getting out the little bits of carrot and peelings and different stuff that's in there. That's not going to hurt anything, and it tastes fine. But this is the texture of a nice, silky baby food consistency soup like this. It's just really a hallmark of
baby
quality
food.
soup. So go ahead and sieve that if you want it to be nice and silky like this.
I don't want that.
And then here we are at the very end. All we need to do now is serve it up. You can serve it up hot just like it is, or you can put it in the refrigerator and keep it cold for about a week, or you can freeze it. And then for garnish, I'm using a little bit of sour cream, a little bit of cheddar cheese, and you can garnish this any way you want, or it's great without any garnish. And also a couple little baby sage leaves on top might spruce it up a bit. And that's a nice edible garnish that will just heighten the taste of the recipe once you bite into it.
Okay,
This has
good,
been one of my favorite
Ezekiel.
recipes, and
I'm
people that have
writing
tried it have
them,
agreed
so get
that
ready.
The piney taste of that sage really helps marry that cannabis in there and makes it great. I would like to thank the guys at the Mighty Fast Herbal Infuser for sponsoring this video.
Okay. Needs some color. I know it looks kind of like boring, right? Oh wait, this is cute. What the hell is this? These two are funny.
Hi, I'm Lori, and this is Mary for Lori and Mary Jane. Today, we're making Mama Leone soup. It's a creamy, delicious, most wonderful soup there is. I'm going to be...
It's so funny. My grandfather's last name was Leone.
Sprinkling the chicken with salt and pepper on both sides, and I'm going to put it in the oven to roast for about 25 minutes.
While the chicken is cooking, I'll be preparing the rest of the ingredients. So we've chopped up some celery, we're going to chop the onion, some herbs, some garlic, mix it all into the pot, and it's going to be delicious.
Ah, you said pot. The vegetables and herbs have already been sauteed in the canna butter. Now I'm adding flour, which is the thickening agent, and I'm going to stir that around a little bit. And now it's time for the chicken stock. I'm going to stir. And I'm going to let it come to a boil. The last step is adding the spinach, which I let cook for another minute or two. It wilts a little, but it still sort of maintains its texture. Okay, I think we're ready to go. Enjoy.
Enjoy. Wait. Go back. Wait a second. Under Obama, the U.S. Department of Justice issued the Cole Memo. It guided federal prosecutors to take a hands-off approach to enforcing federal marijuana laws in states that have legalized cannabis in some form. Copy. I'm going to pause it. Okay. The memo outlined the following 8 priorities. Prevent marijuana distribution to minors. Great. Prevent marijuana revenue from funding criminal enterprises. Great. Prevent marijuana from moving out of states where it is legal. Okay. Well, just legalize it federally, you fucking doofuses. It's not a state issue anymore. You can't just keep doing that. Like, it's just not going to happen. Just... All right, I gotta go pretty soon, you guys. I'm gonna light this up with all of you, but I'm getting pretty sleepy. I woke up way too early this morning. I think I was really excited to put on a costume, but also very nervous because I don't do makeup that often, and I was worried I wasn't gonna do a good job. So let's keep going. Okay, prevent violent blah blah blah, prevent drunk driving, cool. Prevent the growing of marijuana on public lands. Why do they always call it marijuana? Prevent cannabis use on federal property. Okay, cool. He rescinded it. Fuck him. Sessions' move gave U.S. Attorney discretion to decide how and when to enforce federal marijuana laws. And interjected uncertainty into a growing industry. This is giving me anxiety.
Hello and welcome to our exclusive West 2 News debate on Amendment 3. I'm Summer Knowles.
And I'm Greg Fox. We're talking to two of the leading
Can I play this?
voices, both for and against Amendment 3. We have John Morgan of Yes on 3 and...
Yeah, maybe it's going to get me banned. Yeah, it did publish a motherfucking cookbook. Thank you. I published a motherfucking cookbook. Okay, well, I think we know what we're going to cook this Saturday. We're going to do a soup. What kind of soup? TBD. Something incredible. Something fabulous. Something warming and comforting and like a big hug on a bad day. That's the kind of soup that we're going to make this Saturday. Live here, public. But we're also posting to the Edibles Club. Winslow and I shot the mooncakes recipe, the salted egg yolk mooncake recipe for Lee. So that will be posting soon to the Edibles Club on Patreon. If you enjoyed this stream and you appreciate my costume and you want more access and to be able to ask me questions, etc., please join the Edibles Club on Patreon. I'm going to drop a couple links in here, and we can leave it up to a vote on the club for what soup I'm going to make on Saturday. Edibles Club. So I have to do this. So please check us out. We have a really cool club chat. I love the club. And then also my cookbook. Is right here. And you can order from any of these, wherever you want to go. Wherever you want to go. Lauren says, join, it's the best club. I totally agree. Creamy mushroom soup would be great infused. Yeah, that does sound good. Anything creamy, because you want the dose. You don't want it to sit on the top, right? And if there's not fat throughout the soup, it's just going to float right to the top. So thank you. Well, Marvin will make a different type of soup, but something creamy. We're going to vote on it in the club. So don't worry. Don't worry. Thank you everyone for being here. I'm going to take this wig off because my brain is hurting. And I'll see you here on Saturday. Well, I'll be in the kitchen. 1:20 p.m. Pacific. And we're going to make soup. I'm excited. I fucking love soup. So that means I gotta get a chicken so I can have some nice chicken broth. Well, depending on the soup that we make. We'll have to see what kind of soup we're gonna make. Whatever the club wants. Happy Halloween. Stay safe out there. You know, remember, people drive like idiots during the holidays. So stay safe. And have fun, and if you see black cats, keep an eye out for them because they get like picked up and stuff during this time or something, or so I've read. I don't know if that's true. Don't quote me on that. Happy Halloween. Love you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. Bonbon is so pissed. Don't eat too much candy. I can't promise that, okay? I can't promise that. I have a sweet tooth. All right. Have a good night. I gotta go. Wait, let me one more light up for Marvin, and then I'm gonna go. One more light up. Everyone say your goodbyes while I'm lighting up. Everyone say your goodbyes. I'm gonna start running credits of all of the club member names. Does everyone like that idea? I see all the hearts coming in. Everyone likes that idea. At this point, I'm going to have credits coming. Next time, we'll figure it out. Next time for the tech savvy. Have a good night.